twisting of flesh and life, both brilliant and insane.
Got to hear some of the Scion's input there. Let's get our Brolin back.
Nothing more to give.
Damn, that was a sick fight. I love that. Okay. This area is a little more clean, a little more pleasant than the last area. if you could say that. It's kind of like, oh, there's like speared rowers. Someone's preparing a rower barbecue, maybe. Poor rowers. They got impaled Hannibal style. What zone level is this? Oh, this is a 40 zone level, wow. So we're four levels below still. This could be a challenge. I definitely want to get those staunching flasks going through this area, guys. The piety fight and these puncture guys here are pretty nasty. Get 6 instant life flasks. Can only equip 5 flasks. Oh, new waypoint art for this zone. It's basically like, it looks like a piece of stretched and tattooed flesh. That's somewhat disturbing. Alright, let's pop back into town real quick. Intestine jabbers. They jab you in the intestines with their intestines. Alright, back we go. Into the harvest. Oh, look at the look at the the bloody tag there for the zone. Oh, what are you doing here, Piety? Oh, she caught up with us, I guess.
Before we walk this path together, it's important that you understand one thing about me. I don't regret a single thing that I've done. I set out to raise humanity up from the cloying mud of its fleshly ignorance. My mistake was not in the aspiration, but in the execution. Now I intend to correct that mistake. Really, I'm not helping you, Exile. You're helping me. So, have you found those juicy organs for me yet?
Ah, so we have to go get them and bring them back here. So here's the black core that we need to place the organs in. The mouth will not open while any of Malachi's guardians still live. Alright, so we're gonna head off to the sides of this area then, I guess, and find the other bosses.
I have nothing more to give.
Crimson Moan the Malignant. Oh, shrine in here. Oh, massive shrine, yes, do want. Let's see how long the bounce distance on the magma orb is based on the AoE. It's not that much bigger. This is a massive AoE there. A bit of a taste of what's to come.
On this day, the eve of this rapturous completion, I honor those who have passed. On this day, the eve of this rapturous completion, I honor those who have passed and whose passion and knowledge have brought us to the brink of salvation. Inquisitor Mulligan, a creative force without equal. Sharon of Ambra, an aesthete of transcendent sensibility. Dwayne Tacta, an idol of fervor and dedication. You taught me far more than I ever taught you, my students. My friends, we strove to make a greater world together, and in your memory, I shall make that world a reality.
Chat's mentioning that in order to farm Malachi, you need to first have killed the other 3 bosses, so Magic Find runs will involve quickly downing the 3 bosses and then the final boss. That is very freaking cool, I like that. Like, as long as it's sufficiently rewarding enough, that's very, very cool. That, like, a Magic Finding run of that will be quite the process. Like a multiple different tier thing that you have to do. So I do hope that is true, because that sounds awesome. This seems pretty massive. I mean, I suppose it's got to hold the exits to 3 different boss areas. Why don't you use LMP for overlapping AoE? Because the AoEs don't overlap on Molten Strike. You can't shotgun with the AoEs on Molten Strike from LMP or GMP. Doedre's Arena. She pronounced it as Doedre. Oh damn, here we go. Oh, there's like some swirling, colourful runes in here. Oh, that's gonna have something to do with the mechanics of the fight. Alright guys. Let's do it. Next boss fight. Last one was pretty awesome. Hopefully she won't require any staunching because I still don't have any of that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I have a curse removal at least. There's different overlapping AoEs. Oh my god, she is heinous. She is heinous. I'm gonna give you guys a zoom in. I may die for it, but I'll give you guys a zoom in. That is absolutely magical. She's floating around in like a half eggshell device, and her gut is spilling over the edge of it.
I have nothing more to give.
Absolutely heinous. Okay. Oh, okay, so this thing here curses you depending on which area you're in. So this is green, it's cursing me with Enfeeble. When I go into this area, it's cursing, the purple one is cursing me with Temp Chains, and the fire one is cursing me with Vulnerability, or the red one is. And there's an overlap, like if you stand in the middle, you can get all three curses. Huzzah! So you probably want to stand in the section that's less dangerous for you, I guess. Doedre Dark Tongue. I don't really want to stand in the Temp Chain section, so let's go back over to the Enfeeble section. I can handle that. Yeah, standing in the middle is probably not the best idea. Yes, I do think heinous is the appropriate word here. Let's kill it with fire, please. So it looks like she does like her own sort of Molten Strike, but like blood. Oh, ouch! It does hit pretty hard. Oh, and then she's got some of them fork out, it looks like, as well. So you probably want to make sure you're not standing in the vulnerability section when you get hit by one of those. I imagine it does deal physical damage, given the vulnerability curse. I'm currently vulnerability'd now. I like these, like, curse AoEs. Pretty interesting. She doesn't seem like she's too hard a boss, though. Her attacks seem reasonably easy to dodge as well, as long as you're not Temp Chained at the time. Alright, I think we're just about got her down. Finish her! Oh god, out of floss. Go Flame Totem! You got this, bro, I believe! There we go. Dispelling the curse. Malachi's lungs. Oh, those are some, blackened, tar-ridden lungs there. Oh, it's actually still in the same zone, so it's actually a little boss fight in the same area. You just kind of, like, open the gate to it. Alright. Alright, so that first, the Doedre fight, it's not too difficult. Thinking about higher difficulties, you might have to manage the curse a little bit more. Curse immunity on a duration-based class would be pretty nice, though, I imagine. Oh wait, oh, watch out, watch out. Is that a preview to Aurify Curses? Good point, good point. That does show curse based on kind of like an area, doesn't it? Which is an interesting mechanic that we haven't seen before. I don't think there's anything over that side. So I think we got both the only boss fight on that side. The rest will probably be over here then.
I have nothing more to give.
It's quite difficult to recognize where you can and can't walk on this area. Like some of these sections, you can tell on the map, but on the game screen it's a little more difficult. Some hex font action here. Yeah, it's going to be interesting leveling through some of these bosses that we won't have very much experience with. Some of you guys no experience with. Leveling through in hardcore is going to be tough. The most important thing I've seen so far is that I do think curse immunity is going to be a big deal, but staunching as well, having a staunching flask, will be very freaking helpful in this zone. For both the mobs and that piety fight. Piety fight was scarier than the Doedre fight. Oh, we get ourselves some more resistances here. That's another 12 all res, which is going to be helpful, I imagine. This kind of does remind me a bit Zergy, isn't it? This kind of whole, like, this whole area is, like, living... So this is basically, like, the beast, this twisted thing that is involved with Malachi is basically the mountain itself. Like, we're basically inside the innards of the mountain, aka the beast. And it obviously has, like, a twisted darkness inside it that Malachi is at the center of. Very cool setup. Malagara's Arena. Alright, here we go. So Malagaro was the one who made the guy in Chamber of Sins, right? It's my understanding. My horrible understanding of the law.
A body to kill for.
Oh, what? Alright, he throws a shit ton of traps down, it looks like. What do they do? Alright, I'm gonna eat one for you guys. It looks like a chaos trap. That didn't do any damage, though.
Be still.
Oh, it just did not much damage. Okay, it doesn't do too much damage. It looks like a chaos trap, though, and he's gonna got this, like, nasty EK thing that he fires out pretty quickly.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
Alright, so managing where those little chaos traps things... Oh, it looks like he puts, like, a purple desecrator down as well. Be still. I'm not gonna stand still so you can throw traps on me, you jerk.
Be still.
Looks like they do expire after a while, though. The damage doesn't seem too bad in here, but if it is chaos damage, then it'll be much nastier if you don't have very good resistances in the later difficulties.
I have nothing more to give.
Yeah, the EK does hurt. It's pretty hard. Especially because they can throw it out pretty quick. I'm gonna give you, I'll give you guys a... Oh, jeez. I'll give you guys a close-up look when he's not ignited. Wait, right there? Let's let him kill the, there he is. He's got like a little twin, conjoined twin thing happening. Alright, I gotta refresh. My zoomed in action wasted all my floss. Be still! His EK effect is pretty cool, isn't it?
Art in motion.
It's kind of like, the projectiles are weirdly slow on it, like some of them are a little slower than others.
The greatest form I never sculpted.
And here we go, Malachi's heart, just as dark and blackened as the lungs. Alright, next boss. So the three little mini-bosses themselves have some interesting and new mechanics, but they aren't, they don't seem particularly... Like, I think with a bit of practice you'll be able to learn the mechanics of them quite well and be able to kill them pretty quickly. So they're not too hard and not too involved compared to, like, major end-of-act boss, but these are, like, just three little mini-bosses leading up to the major boss as well, which is awesome. I love this whole layout. Do, 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 do. Sneak through this way, it must be over here. Oh, looks like it's gonna be up in here. Let's get rid of this guy first so these guys don't come in and bother us. Oh. 2 chromatic items. Check the booties. Oh, hello. Life, dual res, move speed. Gonna need a bit more dexterity for those, but those are very nice boots. Already had some okay boots, but those are even nicer. Here we go, Chavron's Arena. Guaranteed Chavroni wrapping, dropping. We'll see. She's got kind of tiles in here. Oh my god, books. Whoa, what the? Okay, this one's a little crazier. Okay, so she throws out like a fast-moving ball lightning thing. She has a bunch of books which kind of look like a... Oh, they're like a storm call signifier. So the books themselves don't deal any damage like I thought they did. But they eventually pop with like a storm call. It looks like she probably deals mostly lightning damage then. I'll try and get a close-up over here. Her skin's kind of like stretched out. Her face, the skin of her face is stretched out and attached to this like crown she's wearing. Alright, so this one looks a little more dangerous.
Nothing more to give.
You can kind of path your way through those. It's a bit hard to tell the AoE of the books. Oh, she has like lightning tendrils as well? Let me see if I can see that. Oh yeah, yep. Alright, that does a lot of damage. You don't stand too close to her then. That's gonna be tough for melee then. What's this aura she's got, I wonder? See how she just had an aura up for a second there? Like a buff effect around her feet? How much damage do her lightning orbs do at this point? My lightning resist is 56, which is pretty decent for normal. Don't seem to do too much at this point. Hold on, do they actually explode if they hit you, do they? Not like a ball lightning. Oh, so it's not ball lightning then. They actually explode if they hit you. Ouch, man. Lightning tendril science. Ooh, a lot of them there. Go find a safe spot. Alright, running a little low on floss. Chevron of Umbra. Let's go over this way. Alright, so the AoE, like, the visual of them is much larger. It looks awesome, by the way, but the AoE of them is much larger than the actual hit box of them. So it's not too hard to sort of just dodge them, unless you change directions like that, like an idiot. So you gotta try and pick a little clean spot to stand in and then dodge her projectiles that she follows up with. Malachai's entrails. Oh, these ones look a little fresh. I'd eat that. Basically, it looks kind of just a bit like a haggis. a delicious haggis. Yummy, yummy. Alright, here we go. Back into the harvest. The spell effects in both of those were pretty awesome. Oh, time to turn in the organs to Piesto.
Fate has a sick sense of humor, doesn't it? When I saw you that day in Axiom Prison, I genuinely thought it'd be for the last time. Yet here we are, the whore and the wonder child, committing a mutual act that will be felt for centuries to come. Malachi knew exactly what he was doing when he created the Rapture. His primary concern, get inside the beast and take up the reins of true power. And his second objective, incite a cataclysm that would wipe the very thought of resistance from this land. The beast is the source of all thaumaturgy, the one power in this world that transforms what is real into what is imagined. The entire world is now at the mercy of one man's vision. It won't be the future I imagined, and it won't be the future you imagined either. While he remains within the black core, the only imagination that matters is Malachi's.
Damn, this is very dark and imaginative. So the beast, as I was saying, is like the mountain that we're inside, and it's the seat of power. It's almost a bit like a throne, and Malachi has taken it himself. Chat's like ready to die. I'm ready. Well, that's a sufficiently creepy opening. Oh, look, it's ready. Don't you just want to dive right into that? And we will right after this break. Oh, what? I'm just kidding, but not really. Actually, I need to go. So I'll be back in one moment, guys. In one very short minute, I'll see you guys, and we'll jump into the Black Core. I bet it'll make a sound like this when we jump in.